I've travelled to Bwindi Impenetrable Forest in Uganda in search of the mountain gorillas. This forest is really special because it's home to just under half of the world's population of gorillas. So I'm going to be spending the next 2 days here trekking through the forest in search of these amazing animals that we share so much of our DNA with. When we first arrived for our gorilla trek, we were welcomed by some dancers from a local community who were singing for us an incredible welcome song to start our experience of the gorilla trekking. We've just started our first trek to go and find the mountain gorillas in Bwindi Impenetrable Forest. It will be my first ever time seeing a gorilla in the wild, and it's been like a lifelong dream of mine. So I'm feeling a mixture of like super excited and also quite emotional as well. I'm hoping that we get a good sighting of them today. So we're going to see the Mashaya group of gorillas, and apparently they have one silverback in the group and I think 3 babies as well, including the youngest baby that's currently in the forest that's only 2 months old. So if we get a sighting of that baby, I will be so happy. Pretty tough. The start was relatively easy, but then as we got deep into the bush, we started going up quite a steep incline, and it's super muddy and slippery underfoot. So it was really good to feel grounded in my barefoot shoes. And it also meant that I was much more connected to the experience because I could feel every rock or twig under my feet and really feel immersed in the whole journey of going to find the gorillas. And we hiked and hiked until the point where the lead ranger eventually told us that we were only about 20 meters away from the gorillas. We're just approaching the gorillas now. It started absolutely pouring with rain, but in any moment now, we'll get our first sighting of the gorilla. We just saw the gorillas, and it's funny because you like imagine this moment for so many years. I've always wanted to come and do it, so to actually see them. Oh, that was so cool. We saw a silverback, we saw a tiny baby climbing a tree. It was just amazing to be surrounded in the forest with these animals that are so closely related to ourselves. I thought the first day was hard, but day 2 was like so much harder. I had to stop so many times just to catch my breath, just pause and retake in my surroundings before keeping on going. It was pretty much a solid incline the whole way to see the gorillas. It wasn't a long walk, but I just found it really challenging. And then at the point where he said, okay, the gorillas are down there, I was like, what do you mean down there? And it was literally like a vertical drop off the side of the trail down to see the gorillas. It was insanely steep. Like I had people holding my hands either side of me, like helping me, because otherwise I just would have slid straight down the hill. It was such a steep incline, and because of that, the gorillas were in such dense foliage that it was really hard to get a clear shot of them. However, the experience of actually being there and seeing the gorillas, I'd say, was so much better today because we saw much more behaviour. There was this female gorilla who was kind of eye-line with me in the trees, and she was lying on her back with her head down, hanging over the branch towards me, kind of looking at me, and that was a really special moment. I think whenever you feel like they're aware of your presence and allowing you to be there, I always love those moments out in nature. Like I just wanted to cry. Don't know what to say. Yeah, it was just really emotional seeing them for the first time. I think when it's something that you've dreamed of doing your whole life, actually like going there and experiencing it was just so incredible. And I think so often when you hype these things up and it's like, oh, I really want to do this, it often doesn't live up to that expectation, but having an experience that's just as amazing as you ever thought it was going to be and more was really incredible. There's like no other way of describing it. It was just amazing. As a wildlife filmmaker and photographer, I think it's really important to think about the impact that I'm having with my work and to make sure that when I'm there, I'm not causing any negative impact to the environment around me, and that the only thing that I'm leaving is my footprints, and the only thing that I'm taking is the images and the videos and the memories with me from that experience. I also think it's really important to note that even though I find it challenging to do these hikes, like it literally wouldn't have been possible without all the people on the ground there who have dedicated their lives to these gorillas and to bringing tourists to see the gorillas as well.
Here in Bwindi Impenetrable National Park, Rushaga Gate.
The whole experience was just so incredible. To have put in that amount of effort to really hike through tough terrain to go and find the gorillas made the reward of actually seeing them so much more satisfying. I always feel like when I'm out with my camera, it's almost like a form of meditation for me. It's a form of like disconnecting from the craziness of the world and just really reconnecting to what's important, and anything which can enhance that experience for me is something that I'd always opt for as a choice when going out in nature. So just how everything panned out, I just feel so lucky to have been here, to have experienced it in the way that I did, and to have got my sighting of wild gorillas for the very first time.